Mr. Chair, I'd like to support the statement of Senator Pimentel that seems like everything's falling into place and it's becoming clearer. And in fact, Mr. Mora was telling the truth that at that time, when he was quoted in the transcripts, that there was no MOA, no, and the MOA was still pending. But just goes to show also, Mr. Chair, that Mr. Uayan is lying to this committee. And let me read the transcript from last time, and I quote Mr. Uayan. Like I said earlier, Mr. Chairman, the MOA was executed sometime in February. And after its execution, since I saw that it was the role of PS was in an end-to-end capacity, I talked it over with Yusek Lau that it should be only as a procuring, what we call as procuring agent. So malinaw ho dito, sinabi ho ni Mr. Uayan na sometime February, the MOA was already executed. But two gentlemen mentioned now and last time, Mr. Mora and now Mr. Attorney Bragado, na wala pa hong MOA by May, no? Last May of 2021. But let me also, even though Mr. Mora was telling the truth, he violated the law because he knew exactly that there was no legal basis for this procurement. And yet he issued a invitation to bid May of 2021. So in effect, Mr. Chair, this whole procurement is defective. Wala hong legal basis. No, bumili ho tayo, gumastos ho tayo ng 2.4 billion pesos na walang MOA. Naghumingi ho ng quotation, nag-file po ng invitation to bid na wala pong MOA. Is that an accurate description, Attorney Bragado?
It would appear, Your Honor, that you are correct. Because based on the documents that I have in my personal recollection, I have the MOA signed only last May 28, 2021.
That, sir, May?
May 28, 2021, Your Honor. And these are covered by communications and documents, Your Honor, which I will be submitting to this honorable committee.
Before you proceed again, this is my 14th interruption. We have here in our midst the Commission on Audit. So nag-audit kayo, nag-refer kayo sa Memorandum of Agreement, and from what you have heard just now, it would appear that part of your report referred to the wrong agreement. So, mali-mali na rin yung nasubmit sa inyo. So, will there be violations here? Can you use your mic and identify yourselves from the Commission on Audit?
I am Teresa Ronquillo, the OIC Supervising Auditor of the DBM Audit Group, which the DBMPS teams belongs. And regarding that, you can see in our ML that we only use the MOA of 2017 because we have not received the MOA of 2021. Yes.
Wala rin kayong kopya?
Wala, sir.
So,
They have
hawak
not
niyong
received.
MOA yung 2017.
Yes, sir. Kasi ang akala namin, yun nga lang din ang MOA nilang nagawa. Yun ang, kasi the MOA of 2017 is a general MOA, including the 2000, there is a provision there for the laptop. So, yun ang aming basis.
It would appear that the 2017 MOA is a MOA,
General MOA, sir.
Only MOA.
Yes, sir.
The presence of Attorney Bragado would clarify all of this. That's why we invited him to be around. We thank Yusek Sibilia for allowing Attorney Bragado to be present before this committee as a vital witness to this ongoing investigation.
The chairman of the DepEd PSDM Task Force, Your Honor, is Yusek Anrin M. Sibilia. The vice chairman is Assistant Secretary Salvador Malana, III, and ASEC Ramon Absede, Assistant Secretary for Finance. I will be submitting, Your Honor, that office order as a part of my sworn statement. Your Honor, I apologize. I have not prepared any sworn statement because I was just invited.
Attorney, would you require a bottle of water? I think that is an unused bottle of water. You can have that. If you would require the presence of the Senate physician, we can ask the OSAA personnel here to have the doctor inside this hall. Kailangan mo ng doktor?
No, sir. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Blood pressure, okay? So,
I'm okay.
the documents in front of you will be submitted to this committee. You will turn them over to us.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Please proceed.
As I mentioned, Your Honor, that DepEd PSDBM Task Force, the primary function is to monitor the transferred projects to the PSDBM by DepEd covered by a 2017 Memorandum of Agreement, Your Honor. As far as I can recall, that's the function of the DepEd PSDBM Task Force. And to mention, there are about 13 billion worth of projects transferred by DepEd to PSDBM.
I think you should simmer down, slow down on your rattling of facts. I asked for your personal circumstances. You started correctly, but now you're insinuating different facts. So what you're saying is that aside from the current issue which this committee is trying to unravel, there is a 17 billion. What was that?
13, Your Honor.
13 billion. And that 13 billion, the 2.4 billion, will that be part of the 13 billion?
Well, it will be part, Your Honor, because the 2.4 billion will now also be under the DepEd PSDBM Task Force.
The 13 billion, was it that years ago, or when was this?
Years ago, Your Honor, it's those were covered by 2017 MOA between the DepEd and
2017.
yes, Your Honor.
Can you go slowly, because even our transcribers here, stenographers, are having a hard time. Slowly lang po.
Apologies, Your Honor. To continue, Your Honor, I'm just saying that that's part of my functions po in the DepEd PSDBM Task Force. Not only to monitor or coordinate the transferred projects with the PSDBM, including the 2.4 billion transferred funds project to the PSDBM. Now, Your Honor, this 2.4B project was particularly assigned to me during the last days of December 2020.
Signed by whom?
By Assistant Secretary Salvador C. Malana, the Assistant Secretary for Procurement and Administration.
And of course, you have proof to show that. Was that a verbal instruction?
It is
was it a memorandum?
a phone call, Your Honor, a phone call during that time, Your Honor. I can't recall what time, but definitely it's after office hours. And that phone call, Your Honor, instructed me to coordinate with Director Jason Uayan, during that time, Your Honor, he was the Director for Procurement Group. So he told me,
procurement group of what?
Of the PSDBM, Your Honor. Assistant Secretary Malana told me to coordinate with him and set a meeting regarding the 2.4B project. So, Your Honor, after the holidays, January 2021, we set a virtual meeting with Jason Uayan and his group of the PSDBM to discuss on this 2.4B project, as well as those projects covered by the 2017 MOA. I am telling this, Your Honor, so that you will be aware that my participation as a secretariat of the PSDBM is not focused on the 2.4, but as well as other projects transferred by DepEd to PSDBM. So, Your Honor, February 2021, and I will be submitting, Your Honor, with my sworn statement, the chronology of events that I have done during those times. That we met with Director Uayan, and then we met again virtually, and I believe, Your Honor, February 23 or February 20 something, we met face to face in the department.
23 of year?
2021. I have to check, Your Honor, the exact date, but definitely it's February 2021, around that week, Your Honor. I have to check the documents, but we have a face-to-face meeting with Director Uayan, and I think it's his staff. I'm not sure if it is Joshua Dolce, but he has a staff with him.
Who is that? Dolce?
Joshua Dolce, sir, is from PSDBM also.
Is he or a she?
He. Sorry, Joshua is a guy, Your Honor, a male. He's a male, Your Honor. During that discussion of the February meeting, we discussed about the MOA, Your Honor. The MOA that is subject of this now topic inquiry. And that MOA, Your Honor, initially, the proposal was that the 2017 MOA that was executed there from in 2017, signed by Secretary Briones and then Executive Director Miguel Gutierrez. He proposed, Your Honor, that MOA be amended. The 2017 MOA, reinstatement and be amended so that that MOA, that the participation of DBMPS will now only be procurement.
Sir, can I hold you for a while? Who was that who insinuated that the MOA should be?
Director Jason Uayan, Your Honor. He said that the 2017 MOA, because there are projects that yet to be procured, it should be amended so that the PSDBM will now only be in charge of the contract administration. Because the 2017 MOA, Your Honor, as I will explain later, the project or the transferred funds of those projects, the PSDBM will act as the contract implementation from the bidding up to implementation. Now, he proposed during that meeting that we should amend the 2017 so that the other projects remaining be classified now that PSDBM will be the contract administrator only, not implementation. Of course, Your Honor, that proposal, I advised, I told that proposal to our officials, and the Secretary Sibilia and Assistant Secretary Malana, and of course they did not agree on that proposal. And we also discussed on that meeting, Your Honor, that there should be a separate MOA.
Who again posed the revision of the MOA?
It is Director Jason Uayan, Your Honor.
No, you mentioned two DepEd personnel.
Our superior, Your Honor, Yusek Ancibilia and Asek Salvador Malana.
They opposed the revision.
Yes, Your Honor. They would like the 2017 MOA be still the provision to be followed, meaning the DepEd or the PSDBM will be the contract implementation of the projects, of the procured projects. So, Your Honor, to continue, we also agreed, Director Jason Uayan, that a MOA for the 2.4B project should also be drafted. Because initially, the proposal is that the 2017 amended MOA, which that he is discussing, is to include the 2.4B. So there will be a MOA covering the 2017 and the 2.4B. But, Your Honor, we agreed that it should be separate because the funds, therefore, are there to be used for that 2.4B is
I hold you for the fourth time. Who agreed?
we agreed, Your Honor.
What do you mean we? Who agreed?
Director Jason Uayan and myself, Your Honor, we agreed that it should have a separate MOA. The 2.4B project, Your Honor.
Because
Because, Your Honor, the funding source of that MOA
is Bayanihan
is
2.
Bayanihan 2, and it is different from the fund source of those projects covered by the 2017 MOA. So, Your Honor, he said, Director Uayan told me that their legal division will drop a MOA for the 2.4B laptop project. And of course, Your Honor, I also told him that I will be drafting my MOA, the DepEd version of the MOA. And that MOA, Your Honor, will be also be submitted to this honorable committee. Because that MOA, Your Honor, has been submitted to Undersecretary Ann Sibilia, Assistant Secretary Salvador Malana.
You can pause and drink your water. You can pause. I'm trying to decipher all of this. So there are now two MOAs. The MOA drafted by PSDBM and the MOA drafted by you.
Yes,
from
Your
the
Honor.
DepEd.
Yes, Your
And
Honor.
who will finally decide which MOA should be used?
Your Honor, that question I will answer now. The MOA used was the MOA drafted by the PSDBM as can be seen in their letterhead used. But the MOA that was submitted by PSDBM, Your Honor, there is already the agreement that PSDBM will be not only contract administrator, but contract implementer. So, Your Honor, the main debate that we have with Director Jason Uayan during the times that we are discussing the MOA is that for DepEd, we retain the end-to-end capacity as procurement entity as initiated in the 2017 MOA. However, his position is that PSDBM would only act as contract administrator, not implementer. So that's the debate from March, April, until, Your Honor, on April 30, upon our agreement also with Director Jason Uayan, we told Director Jason Uayan that there should be a meeting of the executives to finally agree on the MOA on what will govern.
I hold you for the sixth time.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you clarify this? I asked you to name the names, not just the positions. When you say executives, who are the executives?
Yes, Your Honor.
But the chair, let the records reflect this, that it appears that the witness is unrehearsed, exhibiting spontaneity in his recollection of events. Do you have any copy there of any outline of what you're saying?
None, Your Honor.
Okay, so we note that. Name the executives that you referred to a while ago.
Your Honor, Undersecretary Alain Delby Pascua, the Undersecretary for Administration, Undersecretary Annalyn Sibilia, the Undersecretary for Finance, Assistant Secretary Salvador C. Malana, Assistant Secretary for Procurement and Administration.
So they all met. They all met
They all met via Zoom, Your Honor.
via Zoom.
Via Zoom.
And you were part of that Zoom meeting.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the purpose of that Zoom meeting was to?
To agree on the MOA, Your Honor, on whether or not DepEd will be still be the 2017 MOA, the arrangement, or will it be now contract administration only for PSDBM?
Sorry to disrupt your train of thoughts, but what was the result of that MOA meeting?
The MOA, Your Honor,
That Zoom meeting, I'm
that
sorry.
Zoom meeting, Your Honor, it was also attended by Undersecretary Lloyd Christopher Lau. He was also there.
So what was the result?
The result, Your Honor, is that they agreed that the MOA, the PSDBM will be the procurement entity into an end-to-end capacity. So they will be the contract implementation, and they will also be the contract administrator of the MOA, Your Honor.
Please proceed.
April 30, that's the Zoom meeting, Your Honor, and That was the agreement. Immediately thereafter, Your Honor, and this is as far as I can remember, May 3, I had submitted a draft MOA to Undersecretary Annalyn M. Sevilla and Assistant Secretary Salvador C. Malana, requesting for their comments, inputs, updates with regard to that draft MOA that I have drafted. Your Honor, I will also be submitting their comments. They have submitted their comments. Yusek Ann Sevilla and Assistant Secretary Salvador Malana submitted their comments to my draft version of the MOA.
So they commented in writing?
Yes, Your Honor. It is
And
all covered. It is all.
You have copies of the said comments?
Yes, Your Honor. I have here in my possession all the documents.
And as per your recollection, what would be the gist of the comments?
The comments, Your Honor, is particularly more on the grammar and the use of the wordings, because there are wordings there, Your Honor, that should be appropriately termed in finance terms, Your Honor. It's also there. But basically, Your Honor, what I'm saying is that my draft version of 2017 of the MOA is patterned after the 2017 MOA. Basically, I just changed the project. But the conditions, the provisions, all of those are patterned over the 2017 MOA because particularly and logically, I will not change anything from that arrangement except the funding in the project. If we will have to...
Attorney,
yes, Your Honor.
for my seventh interruption, during our first hearing here, I was the one who raised the provision concerning the Food and Drug Administration.
Yes, Your
Nakita
Honor.
mo ba yon? Bakit napasama yung FDA doon? O yung version mo meron ding FDA? Yung ganun bang pagkakamali? Ni-raise mo ba yon? Nung pinagbangga yung dalawang MOA, sinabi mo ba, o teka muna, bakit napalagay dito yung Food and Drug Administration? Dapat ito na lang MOA ko ang sundin natin kasi mas maliwanag ito. Were you able to raise that point?
Your Honor, to answer that, Your Honor, first, my version of the MOA do not have that provision of the FDA law. Then, Your Honor, as I can be explaining as I go along, I have not seen that FDA law during that exchanges. It was actually, I just realized the FDA law when you pointed out during the first Senate hearing. I have not seen that, Your Honor, that provision. Or by mere oversight or mistake on my part, because as I can explain later, the MOA was really out of time. I can explain it later, Your Honor, because there is the circumstance.
My eighth interruption, what was that? Out of time?
Because, Your Honor, the MOA has to be signed urgently and immediately because of the time element, Your Honor. I'm saying this, Your Honor, because I'm trying to drive at that based on my documents, my professional knowledge, and my personal view, the MOA that was signed by the executives, Yusek Lloyd Lau, Assistant Secretary Malana, Attorney Jason Uayan, and Secretary Briones, they were all signed May 2021.
My ninth interruption. Settled now is the date of the notarization, which is 16 February 2021. Am I correct?
Yes.
Nakaharap mo ba si Yumaong Notary Public Crisologo?
No, Your Honor, I don't know Attorney Crisologo, and I...
So, my 11th interruption, sino ang nagpanotaryo sa kanya? Sino ang nagdala doon nung petsang yon? Kasi, di ba, alam naman natin, may notarial book yan. Ilalagay doon kung ano talaga yung tunay na petsa nung pagnonotaryo. So, sino nagdala doon sa pagpanotaryo? Hindi ikaw.
Definitely, Your Honor, I'm not the one, and I don't know the person, Your Honor. But as I've said a while ago, we have a DepEd, PSDB, and task force, and we have staff, Your Honor, and this could be the people who brought that MOA to that certain notary public, Your Honor. And if I can help, Your Honor, I can submit to this committee communications or documentations that can apprise this committee who ordered and who coordinated the notarization of that MOA.
Will you be willing to do that via a sworn statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
So the General Counsel is directed to secure the deposition of Attorney Bragado and have his sworn statement be part of the records of this committee. And you do that voluntarily.
Yes,
freely.
Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. To continue the MOA, Your Honor, so that we can be guided on what happened. May 3 to May 5, Your Honor, I requested for the comments and they submitted. When I say they, Yusek Ancibilla, ASEC Mon Absede, and ASEC Salvador Malana submitted their comments. And I will be submitting those comments to this committee, Your Honor. To jive the letter of dated May 6 shown a while ago, I transmitted that MOA with the comments of the said officials, Yusek Sibilla, ASEC Malana, and ASEC Absede, to the DepEd PSDBM. That was pointed out this morning by Executive Director Dennis Santiago. May 6 letter, Your Honor. I mentioned there the Zoom meeting, April 30, and the comments that I have gathered from the Execom officials, Yusek Ancibilla, ASEC Salvador Malana, and the finance team, Your Honor. So that will only show, Your Honor, that I have transmitted to the PSDBM the MOA that I had drafted and with their comments. That's May 6, Your Honor.